Hi, my name is Smita, and I work in the space of energy healing. How to identify the right healer or a person that you're going to work with, whether it is a spiritual journey or a healing journey. Yes. And why is that important? Because we have entered a phase where more and more people are going to seek out healing, spirituality, or well being. And when we do that, remember, you need to discern because there are people there who may not be the right match or may have the right intention. And the last thing you want to do is be vulnerable, go to a person for healing or any spiritual practice, and you come out feeling more traumatized or cheated. First thing first, remember, you need to be discerning. You need to make the choice. You need to be able to decide whether the person or the modality is right for you or not. For example, say I'm not a person who is very comfortable with anybody touching me physically, and especially if it is somebody from a certain gender, then that modality is not the first option for me. Let me not try that. If I'm a person who is not comfortable with closed doors inside a small room with a stranger, even if they are a healer or a practitioner, then that's not a good approach for me. Then I better do online or a group session in person. So think about what works for you, what you're okay with, and what you're not okay with, and start there. Second, do your background check. Just like when you identify a doctor for yourself or a school for your child, you do enough research before you decide and commit to it. The same way, do that research. Try to find out everything about that person or that healing modality. Read reviews, find out people who have worked with them, find out if that person has had their own healing journey. Have they worked on their own trauma? Have they struggled? How open are they about their own vulnerabilities and their struggles? That will give you an idea whether they have done enough work on themselves or not. There are several ways to find out. And yes, sometimes, even after doing the research, in the first 5 minutes when you're interacting, you're not comfortable. Get out. Do not think about the money you have paid. If you feel unsafe, and especially if you are in person attending a session alone with the person, please get out. Leave and go. Like I said, the last thing you want is to come back with more trauma and more issues. I can tell you when I was in a healing session with a person who had claimed to be a healer, and this was in a certain community where everybody was into healing and spiritual practices. So we were all very open and trusting of each other. And that is where I made the biggest mistake. I did not do enough research. Second, when I was doing the practice with this person, I was in the closed room, but I had left the door a little bit open. Third, because I had my own practice, I kept chanting and I kept doing all that I needed to because somewhere I was getting a message, get out of the place, this is not safe. Thankfully, that person, because they were also in the energy space, they knew that they cannot enter my energy space if I have not given them the permission. So at one point, when they kept finding a block, they asked me, are you not comfortable? Do you not want me to go ahead? And I immediately got up. I folded my hands and I looked at them and I said, no, I'm not comfortable and I would like you to leave right away. And they left. And later we found out that that person was a serial offender and had caused a lot of harm and scared many other practitioners in the past. So, yes, it happens even when you are very seasoned because you missed a step. So, do your thorough homework about the healing modality and especially the person. Because when you are seeking healing, you're very open and very impressionable, very, very vulnerable. So anything that a person does or says will have a deep impact on you. So watch out. Be extremely careful. I wish you well on your healing journey and spiritual journey. Take care of yourself and do not forget the very important word which a lot of wise ones have talked about: discernment. Ability to discern what is working for you, what is good for you or not. That doesn't mean you don't explore, you don't experiment, but discern. Okay? Take care. Thank you for listening to me, and I wish you well.